Pro Gun Bullies, y'all are in for a treat. We got a special edition of the Tap Rack Bang podcast. This is episode Sam episode's deep, and we've got a special guest for you today. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West joins the program, a bona fide pro-gun patriot, freedom dispensing badass who helped us get her done down in the Lone Star State for constitutional carry. So stay tuned. You're going to want to hear what this good old boy has to say.
Yep. Before we get started, though,
slow down, Frasor. What's up?
I got an announcement. So we got billions.
Tyler has something to say, everyone.
We got billions of these little stickers
billions.
here. Tap Rack Bang podcast. Billions.
Billions.
Yeah, technically it's not a billion, but who cares? We are giving them away to you guys, the pro gun patriots, the pro gun bullies. We are giving them away to you guys. All you need to do is click the link down in the description, give us your address so we can send these to you, and you will get...
Slap them on your car, slap them on your gun safe, slap them on your sister.
Anything.
Wherever you want to put a sticker, put a sticker.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're neat.
We got a couple more.
They're informative because it's not only an entertaining sticker, but it's a step-by-step instruction on how to deal with a weapons malfunction.
Exactly.
So, informative, practical, and aesthetically pleasing. Alrighty, last week we had a little comments challenge on what's your go-to movie quote when you're shooting guns and trying to look like a gangster in front of your homies. My new favorite, I've been defeated by someone in the comments section. I'm changing my answer from Hasta La Vista Baby from Terminator 2. I'm changing it to Home Alone, or more specifically, Angels with Filthy Souls. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
That's great.
Outstanding. Magnum Packin' Patriot in the comments made that one, and that's spectacular. It's the greatest gangster film that was never made.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was really fun.
You
still holding the line with your answer?
Yeah.
You say hello, my little friend?
Yep. I'm still holding that.
Okay. So this week, we heard David Chipman a while back talking about hiding your guns behind your tuna fish and your beef jerky and waiting for the zombies to come. And that was him just belittling pro-gun Americans. But that does beg the question about the zombie apocalypse. We got probably a prepper or two that watches the show, and maybe you're preparing for said zombie apocalypse, but I've always made the argument that a Terminator apocalypse is far more likely.
I agree. 100%.
You agree. Far more likely, far more terrifying. I say hope for zombies, but prepare for Terminators. Yep. Comment below, what's more likely, Terminators or zombies? It's probably the most important question we've ever asked you.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Bullet points. What's in the news of the gun world today? A lot of crap at the ATF, of course. We've talked about Chipman a lot. Tyler, what's new with David Chipman's big dumb saga?
So the word on the street is up on Capitol Hill is that we're going to have a Senate confirmation hearing this next week as of the time of filming right now.
The Senate Judiciary Committee, where you have pro-gun freedom fighters like Cory Booker and Dianne Feinstein that get to cast their vote for David Chipman. So what could go wrong there, right?
A whole lot.
A whole lot. But we got some Magnum Packin' Patriots as well. Senator Mike Lee and Senator John Kennedy will also get to vote on whether or not David Chipman advances. But of course, if you live in a state where your senator is on the Judiciary Committee, give him a call. Even if you don't live in one of those states, click the link below and sign your petition to oppose the confirmation of David Chipman. Let's stop him here before he makes it to the full Senate floor for a vote. Send this boy packing back to his baby mama, Gabby Giffords, and baby daddy, Mike Bloomberg.
Yep. We've done it before. We've stopped nominations at ATF directors.
Bet your ass we have.
And we're going to do it again. But it all depends on the pro-gun bullies out there. We need your help. Sign your petition down the link below. Let's get this shitbag out of here.
Let's do it. Hey, and while you're down below, and while we're talking about the ATF, we got the ghost gun ban rule. We're all up in that 90-day comment period, so click below. We got the link to leave your comment on the ATF's website. Additionally, get more bang for your buck by signing your petition to oppose the ghost gun ban. Get two birds stoned at once, as I like to say, as Ricky would like to say.
Two birds stoned at once.
In addition to the ghost gun ban, the revival of the failed brace ban, the pistol brace ban, the stabilizing brace ban, however you want to call it. That's back in effect. It's surfacing as we speak. We killed it in December. We can kill it again. We aren't in the comment period yet, but we can start gathering petitions, and we will deliver it to the ATF. If you sign your petition below, Hunter King, the king of the hill, you all know him and love him. He will hand deliver him to the ATF so your voice is heard, and we can once again stop this bureaucratic gun grab.
Yep.
Yeah, and cool news out of California, some legal stuff. What up with that?
Yeah, so look at my notes here again. We got some legal jargon. Excuse me. Miller versus Bonta.
Don't you wanna?
So, was it District Judge Roger T. Benitez ruled that California's assault weapons ban was unconstitutional?
My man.
What did he have to say about that? He had a quote.
He said that state-level assault weapons bans that have remained in effect have had little to show. Yeah, no shit.
You don't say.
Yeah.
No, obviously, you think of all the states with assault weapons bans, and they, sure enough, ain't the safest states in America.
Especially California.
Especially California, but a lot of the other states come to mind. So good on him for ruling it unconstitutional. There's a 30-day stay on it, and it's talks of going to the Ninth Circuit. The real end game is to get this bad boy to the Supreme Court, where you can have a federal ruling. Hopefully the conservative Supreme Court that's supposed to be conservative will strike this thing down, and it will have implications for assault weapons bans and gun bans nationwide. But for the time being, it's kind of a waiting game.
Yep. And
But
hopefully...
it was exciting to see.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool to see anyone shitting on California.
Yeah, this is a battle we can win.
Mhm.
But just need to wait and see what happens. We have a foundation that will be getting involved.
Absolutely.
You can visit National Gun Rights Foundation, or is it gunrightsfoundation.org?
Flash it on the screen, please.
Yes, and you can learn a little bit more info about any sort of court case. We're tracking them all. We filed amicus briefs, as I should say.
Amicus my ass.
Yeah, so check them out.
Yeah. State stuff. Colorado, stupid gun control is on to Governor Polis. It sucks, and he sucks too, so he'll probably support it. I don't want to talk about it because I live in Colorado, and I'm real pissed, but I know that Rocky Mountain gun owners will be out for revenge come election season. Texas, we're going to talk about more later, but constitutional carry is on to Governor Abbott. We're just waiting for his signature.
Yep.
And what up in Louisiana?
Louisiana. So again, the constitutional carry bill has passed both chambers with veto-proof majorities. It is now on to Governor Edwards, and he's a Democrat. He has said he will veto it. So the pressure is on the lawmakers right now to come back into session and vote to override the veto. So keep your pressure up in Louisiana. There'd be 6 or 7 constitutional states now this year.
6.
6.
Yep. It's huge.
Yeah.
Big news,
Pretty
huge
massive.
news. It's outstanding.
Yep.
All right. Speeding things up, moving things along. We'll call that the end of the bullet points and have a little fun fondling some guns.
Yep.
Which brings us to what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Let's see what we got here.
What's in the box? Go ahead and flash the California sticker on the side.
Oh, yeah. We got to get that.
If you can see that on there. No comprendo,
Yeah.
California.
Whatever that means.
Whatever, yeah, no hablo. But we got this nice looking box. Honestly, for a cardboard box, that's about as nice as you get. Being a Smith & Wesson guy, getting my shield in a shoe box, I'm a little jealous of this.
Right.
Especially since it comes in a purse.
It's a puss, okay?
It's a pass.
It's a purse. What's in the purse? Do
We have.
we have Brad Pitt saying what's in the purse?
We will.
Okay. Get Brad Pitt on the line.
All right.
What's in the purse?
This gun has been safety checked. We have a Springfield XDM Elite. Chambered in 9mm. So this is a typical plastic fantastic firearm.
Tactical Tupperware.
Yeah, there goes
will.
the safety flag. So
Chamber flag.
yeah, this is a little different than your modern
Looks
carry
like
piece.
some extra whiz bangs up in there.
Yeah, so you got a threaded barrel here, so you can attach a suppressor, muzzle brake, whatever you want, whatever suits your fancy. Suppressor height sights, It's got a mounting plate for your red dot optics or whatever you want on it.
Fancy.
But
Big old magwell at the bottom.
yeah, big old magwell, so it's easy to funnel that mag in there.
There you go.
But
Drew Locke could throw a mag in there.
Yeah. So I haven't had much.
It's like the birthing hips of a pistol.
I haven't had much time behind the Springfield, but there's a couple gripes I have is that you have a grip safety here. The gun will not go off unless that's depressed. To me, that's another point of failure.
Yep.
Failure.
What if you don't have thumbs, man?
Exactly. If you, I guess. And another thing that they actually got rid of on this model that I really hated of the old models is that it said grip zone right on the grip.
Like a Nerf gun.
It's like instructions. We don't need instructions.
You know where to grab the gun.
Right. So.
Why don't you give that trigger feel? Tell me what you got in there.
Yeah. Let's see. It's a little squishy.
Yeah? A little squishy. How about the reset?
It's a little long.
That's what she said.
Not too tactile, but it'll do for what you need it to do. I'll hand this over to you. What do you think?
Yeah. I think, like we said before, it's big, it's robust, and it's tricked out. I think it's obviously begging for a can to be thrown on the front end.
Yep.
Maybe an RMR or whatever is your go-to red dot sight. Throw a light on it, and I wouldn't consider this an everyday carry pistol, but it would be a pretty reliable and acceptable nightstand gun for a home defender.
Yeah.
If you're the type of cat that wants to defend your house with a pistol instead of a long gun, I don't think this is a bad choice. Maybe throw in a replacement trigger if you're not a fan of the trigger, but beyond that, yeah, I'm not a fan of the grip safety either. I think we've moved on from that. That's a relic of the past, but you got all your ambidextrous or amphibious or whatever kind of somethings that this has, where you can release the magazine from either side and release the slide, but it's pretty neat.
Yeah, and it holds 20 some odd rounds.
Yeah.
So that's a lot for
I think
a
to
handgun,
grab
so.
something when something goes bump in the night, this makes sense.
Yeah.
I would like that a good old American company like Springfield would be back being made in America instead of Croatia, but it is what it is. But get a couple magazines with it, you get a fancy purse, a nice looking box, and some replaceable back straps. So not bad for a what's in the box nightstand gun.
Yep.
Springfield XDM Elite. Check it out.
Check it out. Put that back.
All right, but now we get to the real fun stuff. We talked to Lieutenant Colonel Alan West today and talked about constitutional carry in Texas. He had a lot of outstanding stuff to say about the fight to bring gun rights to the Lone Star State. So please stay tuned in, and I hope you enjoy what he has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat for you today. For those of you who have been sleeping under a rock, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West is a pro-gun patriot who, during his distinguished Army career, served in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and Operation Iraqi Freedom, along the way earning himself a Bronze Star, a Meritorious Service Medal, and an Army Commendation Medal, what us boys in the sea services would call a bona fide salt dog. After his service, he served as the congressman for Florida's 22nd Congressional District, and he is currently the chairman of the Texas Republican Party and was a key factor in the success of the fight to bring constitutional carry to the Lone Star State. Thank you, Colonel West, for joining us today.
It's my pleasure to be with you all.
Awesome. We're going to open up with some questions here. First off, constitutional carry is the gold standard of pro-gun legislation in basically all the state legislatures. So how important is this victory in Texas for gun owners, and what are the national implications of that?
Well, it's incredibly important because we have to honor the Constitution, and that is the Second Amendment, which is of the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights that we have in our Constitution. And our founding fathers were very instrumental in understanding that you don't have your First Amendment rights unless you have the Second Amendment that is there. And going back in history, on April the 19th of 1775, when the British were marching inland toward Concord, Massachusetts, it was to destroy a weapons and armaments factory. So our founders knew that as long as you are armed, you are a citizen. But if you are disarmed, you are a subject. And that is something they have codified in our Constitution. So for us to finally get constitutional carry passed here in Texas, there are 20 other states that already have it. And most people would have thought that Texas would have been leading on this. And when you consider that Bernie Sanders in Vermont has constitutional carry, and here the old colonel down in Texas doesn't have it, that was a rallying cry for a lot of people. Now, we're still not there yet. Because it's sitting and waiting the governor's signature. But I just pray that the governor will do the right thing to make sure that people here in Texas have their constitutional right to be able to keep and bear arms.
Absolutely. And before we move on, you'll probably have to excuse me as a former Marine sergeant. Anytime I've ever been called upon to talk to a lieutenant colonel, it usually meant I was in trouble. So
No.
as long as you promise not to do a wall locker inspection today, I think we'll be okay. But
It'll be fine.
You mentioned earlier that 20 states beat Texas to the punch. Why is that? Why did it take so long for the Lone Star State to achieve constitutional carry?
I tell you, that's the million-dollar question. When you think about Texas and the fact that we have had Republican control of the legislature here, there's no reason why it should not have been passed. And, it's been something that over the past 10 years they've tried to get passed. I'm just glad that we finally got it through both houses, the state house and the state senate, without any real defeat. Now, there were some attempts to try to modify it, change it, put some poison amendments on there, but it still got through. And the amazing thing, in the Texas State House, you had 7 Democrats that voted for HB 1927, which shows that it was really a bipartisan piece of legislation. And I think a lot of people don't understand that you still have to go through a 4473 background check. But if you're a legal, law-abiding citizen in the United States of America that can pass that background check, there's no reason why you have to go out and get a permit for your Second Amendment right. As a matter of fact, the only permit that you need in the United States of America is this little thing right here. It's called the Constitution, and that's just it. And so I think that finally we got some legislators to understand that, and the people understand that.
Yes, sir.
Very good stuff. So we have a little segment on our show we like to call shooting blanks. And these are the people we call out, that just don't get it. They're completely wrong in the Second Amendment. So I just wonder what politicians, Democrat or Republican, are to blame for this drawn-out battle. People who are against the bill, people who fought to add the poison pill amendments, that kind of stuff.
Well, I think if you go back and you look at it, a lot of folks in the respective leadership roles in the Texas State House and Texas State Senate, I know that we had to work very hard to get even our lieutenant governor to come around and support this, because initially when it was passed in the House and was sent over to the Texas State Senate, he said we don't have the votes and we're not going to get it done. And that's why, Texas Gun Rights and the National Association for Gun Rights, Gun Owners of America, we all joined forces. This is an incredible victory for the constitutional conservative grassroots movement here in Texas. And hopefully, when you talk about what does it mean for the rest of the country, we will see this getting passed in other states that have Republican majorities. I don't think you're going to get it passed where you have Democrat control of these states. But then, of course, you got a lot of people leaving those failed blue states to come to a place like Texas. And when you consider what is happening here in Texas with the open borders policy that's been implemented, the rise in crime that we see, illegal immigrants conducting a lot of criminal activity, the cartels and everything, then why would you not want people to be able to protect themselves, especially when you have a party, the Democrat Party, is talking about, defunding police and releasing more criminals out of jail. So I think this is an important win, and I think it sends a message to those individuals that are in quote unquote elected leadership positions that you're supposed to serve the people and not your own self-interest or special interests.
Absolutely, sir. And you spoke a second ago about the pro-gun grassroots and their activism in Texas. From your perspective, working within government, what effect did the grassroots gun movement have in getting this across the finish line? or at
It
least
was
to them?
incredible. It was incredible because, I saw an awakening because people really understand what their liberty and freedom is all about. And if they cannot protect and defend themselves, then their liberties and freedoms will be taken away from them. As we saw last year, when all of a sudden people were saying, you have to wear a mask, you must stay in your house, you're not essential. They don't want to see this happen. And of course, all the talk about confiscating guns, gun registries, and things of this nature. So I think that when you can go back and look at all of the folks that were showing up in the Capitol, the phone calls that were made into these offices, they never seen such an outcry. And so they knew that something was different. And that was the activism of the constitutional conservative grassroots here in Texas, led by incredible organizations, like I said, National Association for Gun Rights, Texas Gun Rights, Gun Owners of America. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah. Sure. And you've used the phrase cabal of cronyism to describe the culture within the mainstream gun lobby. In your experience, how would you describe the effectiveness of the streamlined, so to say, confrontational politics NAGR and TXGR use to get our constitutional carry passed in these sort of states?
Well, I will tell you that there's, and my good Marine buddy here will understand, there's conventional warfare and tactics, and there's unconventional warfare and tactics. Right. And I think what you saw with the National Association for Gun Rights, Texas Gun Rights, Gun Owners of America, they did unconventional warfare. They did guerrilla warfare. It wasn't the same status quo. And, I say this, as a sitting board member of the National Rifle Association, a bit of a different approach. And we know some of the issues that the NRA is having right now, so they could not be as effective in this fight because they have a lot of internal issues that they're having to contend with. So I think that you saw people that understood that you got to get in there, you got to get up close and personal, and you got to make this happen instead of taking a more maybe corporate type of approach and trying to schmooze politicians to try to get them to do what is right instead of just saying, hey, look, this is the Constitution. You will do what is right because you're supposed to be there to represent us.
Hoorah, that motivates me, sir. So with this close to achieving victory, Texas is by far the biggest constitutional carry state now. And obviously, you know a thing or two about Florida politics, which is a state that we're heavily involved in. So can you for a second talk about, with Florida's Republican trifecta, what's holding that state back from becoming the next one?
I think the only thing that's holding it back is you don't have a National Association of Gun Rights and Gun Owners of America pressing the issue down there with the conservative grassroots. And I think that once you unleash that strong grassroots movement in Florida, they will also follow suit and they will get constitutional carry passed down there as well.
Hope so.
Yeah. So your level of activism in this fight in Texas is not typical for a party chairman. So what made you want to get involved in the fight for constitutional carry in Texas?
It's very simple. I am the chairman of the Republican Party of Texas. At least I will be till the 11th of July. Sure. And this was one of the legislative priorities that was selected by the delegates to the Texas Republican State Convention last summer. And I'm supposed to fight for those legislative priorities. And that's exactly what I did.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned your intention to step down as party chair. I'm sure you haven't been asked this question at all since you've made that announcement, but what is next for Lieutenant Colonel Allen West? We think Governor West has a hell of a ring to it.
Well, you're very kind. I will continue to be a servant to God, country, and Texas, and I will just continue to do what you and I did as a Marine and also as a soldier. We took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. We took that obligation freely without any purpose of evasion or mental reservation, so help me God. And so I will seek out a position where I can continue to live up to the oath that I took on 31 July 1982 to serve the people of Texas.
We got one last question for you. So we have another segment on our show called Inside the Waistband, and it's where we ask our guests here what are they packing for a gun, like what are you concealed carrying. So I got to ask you, what's in your waistband?
Well, I carry outside the waistband, and I will tell you that I'm a Glock kind of guy. I did have a 6-hour P365, but I transferred that over to my youngest daughter. So I have a Glock 42, the 380, the 43, 9mm. Those are my two best concealed carry. But I also have the Glock 19. I have the Glock 23 Gen 4, which is the 40 cal, and I have a Glock 30S, which is the 45 cal. So if I really want to knock you down and hurt you bad, I'll hit you with the Glock 30S.
There you go. Glock is always a popular choice amongst concealed carriers. Reliable, robust, and versatile and effective. Well, that's actually all we have for you today, sir. We appreciate you joining us today on the Tap Rack Bang podcast. And most of all, we appreciate your leadership in helping us get constitutional carry to the finish line in Texas.
You got it. It was my honor and pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Take care. All the best. Semper Fi.
Hoorah. Hooah.
Yeah. Hooah.
And that's all we have for you today, folks. Special thanks to Lieutenant Colonel Alan West for joining the show and for his leadership in bringing constitutional carry to Texas. Please stay tuned, because we're going to be having a special Texas-sized party once Governor Abbott gets his shit together and signs the damn bill.
Yep. Can't
Ready
wait
to
for
smoke
that.
some brisket?
Yep.
Yeehaw! Tell them where to go, Tyler.
All right. So if you want to become a member of National Association for Gun Rights, or you just want to check us out, go to nationalgunrights.org.
I'll check you out.
And we also have a link in the description. You can get your stickers here, your
Sticker.
Tap Rack Bang stickers.
Stick it to the man.
Yep. And you'll get autographs from Frasor and myself.
That's right. Personalized letters.
Yep. And
Tyler will put on lipstick and kiss your sticker if you want.
I don't know about that, but
We'll see.
let's continue on here. So we had Lieutenant Colonel Alan West on the show. If you want to get involved in the fight in Texas, please visit txgunrights.org. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Wow.
Like, subscribe,
Like, subscribe,
Oh my God.
and share this podcast, please.
smash that Liberty Bell, ring the alarm of freedom every time we drop a podcast. You need to know about it. You want to see. It's not stopping here. We got more exciting stuff coming down the pipe.
Sign the petition down below. We got David Chipman, the shitbag, who's nominated to run the ATF.
David Shipman, perhaps?
David Shipman. Ooh, I like that.
Sold.
We have the Ghost Guns. We got a petition for that.
Yeah.
And the Pistol Brace Band.
Pistol
We got a
Brace
petition
Band.
for that.
Yeah.
Find us on Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google.
Google it.
Google it.
Why don't you Google it? Still
Yes,
working on
still
Apple.
working on Apple. as our
Sign all your
producer said.
petitions. Send a big old pro-gun middle finger to the ATF. And have just a dandy rest of your week. See you.